leaders regarding a way forward in the crisis here. Very important talks with Netanyahu. This as a consensus is growing that Israel did not kill the key Hamas leadership in those strikes. The latest hint coming from Netanyahu himself in a post earlier today. There will be a summit of Arab and Muslim leaders in Doha tomorrow to discuss the fallout.
President Trump said he did not receive a warning from Israel before the attack in Qatar. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announcing on Sunday that she is endorsing New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani. She says the Democratic Socialist will stand up to President Trump. And The Pit has won the Emmy Award for Best Drama Series. The studio making Emmy history, winning some 12 awards last night, becoming the most awarded comedy series in a single season. Adolescents winning 4 awards Sunday night as well, including Best Supporting Actor for 15-year-old Owen Cooper, the youngest Emmy Award winner in more than 40 years. I'm Sue Guzman. This is Fox News.
Tamua is coming back to Guam. The UOG Endowment Foundation and Guam Comedy present the return of the comedy sensation Tamua with his hit Chihu Tour. One night only, Saturday, November 1st at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. Tickets are going fast at guamtime.net, so don't wait. Get ready to laugh, celebrate, and shout Chihu!
Fox Facts.
Believe it or not, there was a time when changing the channel meant getting up and turning a dial. Remotes started showing up in the 1950s, but they were clunky. Some were wired, others used light beams that didn't work well in sunlight. The real game changer came in the early 1980s with infrared remotes. Instead of sound or visible light, they used invisible light to send signals directly to the TV. They were simple, reliable, and not affected by background noise or sunlight. Zenith played a key role in the development and popularization of infrared remote controls, helping to standardize the technology across the television industry. By the late 80s, infrared remotes were common in most homes. And just like that, the need to get up and change the channel was gone, probably leading to more time on the couch and maybe a few extra pounds, too. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
Get double the speed at zero extra cost with GTA Fiber. Experience super fast and reliable fiber internet speeds, now starting at 200 Mbps to 1 gig, with upload speeds just as fast as download speeds and 100 times faster than cable internet. You can enjoy lag-free gaming and clear video calls. Fast is also affordable. Sign up for Fiber 200 for only $70 a month. Visit gta.net or call 644-4482. Terms and conditions apply.
It is 1800 hours and 7 minutes. It is time for Veterans with Benefits with your hosts, Anthony Tyron and Corinna Ballista.
Half a day. Welcome back. All right. As always, we want to start our show with thanking our sponsors, Ambrose, Habsaba Family Medical Clinic, American Legion Post 1 Steak Day. That just passed, right? Second week. And then 11Z's. I think I had the yummy red raspberry tea and their delicious tuna melt sandwich, guys. So good. They offer 11% discount for military and veterans. And then JTC Services, the most services, HMI, the veteran nonprofit group that Anthony and I are part of, Master Blasters, Domino's, Dane at Domino's. If you are chosen for Veteran of the Week, Domino's is donating a pizza to the veteran.
Thank you, Dean.
All right. And then Talu Eats offering discounts for veterans. My favorite part, Veteran of the Week. I think I sent Veteran of the Week to you. Jose? I think I did. So Veteran of the Week. Veteran of the Week is James Nangauta, Branch of Service Army. He served from 1980 to 2022. He was Sergeant First Class retired James Nangauta, served in the U.S. Army from 1980 to 2022, beginning in the Army Reserve, and later entering the AGR, Active Guard Reserve. A quartermaster NCO, 92 Sierra, he led soldiers who kept units mission-ready, overseeing critical field services, training teams, and supporting mobilizations and contingency operations. Across more than 4 decades, Sergeant First Class Nangauta became known for steady leadership, technical expertise, and a deep commitment to mentoring junior soldiers and NCOs. Since retiring, he continues to serve, volunteering with veteran organizations, assisting spouses and families, and coaching young leaders on resilience, readiness, and living the Army values. Proud of his faith and family, James is married, the father of 4, and he's the grandfather of 5. His legacy is measured in the soldiers he developed, the families he supported, and the communities he continues to strengthen. Let us thank him for his service. Veteran of the Week, James Nangauta. Congratulations.
Yay. Congratulations.
Yay.
Be sure you go get your pizza over at Dedito. That's where they want them to
Pizza
get?
is in Iditarod. I think there's another location too.
Okay. And just let them know. And then thank you to Dane for always supporting us and our veterans, who is a veteran himself, and he has yet to come see me. So, Dane, this is a public message. You need to come see me.
He is yet to come see you? Oh,
Yes.
yes, you're right. He's a veteran, right?
Yeah, he's a combat veteran too. And, you know, when we first met him, and I like to say this a lot, right? He had no problems with saying, hey, let's take care of our veterans. So, you know, big thank you to him and our veterans. When you see Dane, you tell him thank you. And thank you to Domino's for, you know, it might be just a pizza, but if you're not going to eat it, give it to me.
All right. So next, I'll share the tip of the week. So, you know, Anthony and I work with veterans. I'd want to say almost every day, you know, veterans are calling, texting, reaching out. So one of the questions was how to file a claim for mental health condition or how to get it service connected. And this is all public information. This could be found on VA.gov. So the first thing you should do is gather evidence. Service records, they should show events, deployments, or incidents that may have caused or aggravated your condition. Number 2, gather medical records, VA or private provider records that show diagnosis, symptoms, or treatment. Supporting statements from family, friends, fellow service members who observe changes in your behavior. Or a nexus opinion, a doctor's statement linking your mental health condition to your military service. It's often crucial. The VA uses disability benefits questionnaires, including specific forms for mental health disorders and PTSD. These forms allow clinicians to document diagnosis, severity, and functional impact. Number 2, file the claim. You can file the claim on va.gov using Form 21-526EZ. The next thing that will happen is you're going to attend a C&P exam, which means compensation and pension exam. The VA schedules these exams with a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. The examiner will review your file, ask about your symptoms, and complete the mental disorders DBQ. Missing the exam may result in a denial, although protections exist. So if you have to reschedule or you miss it, there should be a good cause why you missed it. But you can always call 1-800-827-1000 if the contractor is not working with you and say, hey, they're not rescheduling my exam. And the next step, VA decision. VA will assign a rating, either 0 to 100%, based on the severity of occupational and social impairment. Ratings are found in the 38 CFR Part 4, Schedule of Rating Disabilities. If you're denied, you can file a supplemental claim on VA Form 20-0995. And here are some resources and hotlines because September is Suicide Awareness Month. We were going to have Miss Wendy call in from Hawaii, but she can't make it, so she'll call in next week. And then next week, we're going to have DISID on. So here are some resources for veterans. So VA Benefits Assistance Claims Help, 1-800-827-1000. Mental Health Service Locator can be found on va.gov. You can always call the 24/7 Veterans Crisis Line. You're going to dial 988, then press 1. That takes you to the States. If you just dial 988 from Guam, you'll speak to someone local at Guam Behavioral. Am I correct?
Yeah, one goes to the VA Crisis Hotline.
Okay.
And anybody on that line can help you. Remember we had, what's his name, at the symposium?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. He's
Drillon?
No, not from DISIT, from the Guam Behavioral Health.
Gosh, not Roki. Oh my God.
Anyway,
we deal with so many veterans. I mean, so many resources.
Right, but he was the one talking about it, and we also talked about trying to get somebody from the religious side to be available just in case somebody wants to talk to. You know, in the military, we often go to the chaplain, so it's a place where, you know, we're comfortable with talking to somebody if we need some help. So, you know, if you're on 988, that's one of the places they have not yet done. And, you know, we'll talk about this, and we had this conversation with Miss Wendy, right? Is although we are not, specific to just, suicide awareness and mental health, as a nonprofit, right? Everything that we do actually brings us together with the mental health side of the house, and I think our discussion had a lot to do with things like, something very simple, right? We got gun locks that we give out, and there's a reason why they give it out, right? And it has a lot to do with suicide prevention and, mental health awareness. So if you are in that field and you're not pushing out gun locks, you might be missing something. So for all of our veterans that are out there, come see us at our boot camps, or if you run into us, or whenever we're there at the clinic, right? And we'll get you a gun lock. So drop by and get one.
All right. And the VA caregiver support line, 1-855-260-3274. You can contact vet centers. Our vet center is located at the top of First Hawaiian Bank, the 3rd floor. And it can be the national hotline is 1-877-927-8387, but you can call the local one. And then Military One Source for active reserve retirees and families, 1-800-342-9647. So that's our tip of the week: how to file for a mental health condition. And did you want to say hello?
Sure. I wanted to say hello to Knox and Aaliyah, and to my mom.
All right. So this past week, we wrapped up Benefits Boot Camp 45 in PD,
Yes.
PD Social Hall. Thank you to Father Dan and Mayor Alec for coordinating that.
Yes.
It was a really nice space. They let us use it. It rained, but honestly, the rain on that sound during boot camp, that was really nice.
Yeah.
And then our next one is going to be Boot Camp 46, October 7, 8, 9 at the Tamuning Mayor's Office. That's going to be really crowded. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Last year we had about 70.
Every time we're there, I think we've been there 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah, we had 70-some there
So,
last time.
Mayor Louise, right? She just usually takes care of us there.
Yes. And then what is it? We just had our Guam Task Force meeting, and some of the there were some things we talked about. Maybe we can expand upon that later. But I did want to share about the Wreaths Across America. Jose, I'm not sure if I sent you that image, if I asked you or reminded you to put it back up. Sorry, I thought I did. My fault. Let me see if we have some people watching us. Is it
there
back
it is.
online?
December 13, 2025.
All
up there.
right. Oh, okay, good. Perfect. Wreaths Across America. And then I do want to say hello to those watching us online. Let me see. All right. Who's watching us? Woohoo.
Nobody?
Oh, yes. Brennan Fausto.
Oh, what's up, Brennan?
Kenneth Paulino. Good evening.
Who's that?
HMI
Ken Paulino?
awesome team. Yes.
Who's he?
Ken Paulino.
Oh,
he
yes.
shoots out all the information.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's my
Yes.
good buddy from in the Lahan.
He's a veteran 411.
Ken Paulino, right?
Yes, Ken Paulino.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yes. And then we
Hi,
have
Ken.
Michael Bloss. The energy you put into this is amazing. Michael, I had a conversation from a veteran when I was driving. He goes, Karina, what's going on? Why is there's just all this information and no one else is pushing it out except you guys? I said, honestly, I don't know. And then Brendan Fausto goes, let's go, veteran warfighters. Good evening. Jose gives him a salute. Good evening, brother, Brendan says. Michael Bloss, phenomenal. HMI team, great work. You're all simply the best. Oh, it sounds like that song. You're simply the... Never mind, I can't sing because we might get dinged.
Then you can get dinged again.
Yes.
You better stop.
Brennan says, are those ball cap veterans for sale? Brennan, if I would just listen to Anthony and he would say, why you only make for us? This is our uniform. Anthony's uniform, my uniform, and Jose, our producer.
But
Name your price, Brennan.
Name your price.
It's invaluable.
We're We're going to get this
Priceless.
out to all our people out there, especially those that are listening. And it's interesting. This is a great segue into, we have folks that are not even veterans that listen in, and we thank you all for listening. And maybe it's not them, but they have a family member, right? And they like the information, and we want to continue to do that, right? Guam is one of the most patriotic places in the United States, and anybody that's from the United States, right? Yes, I did say it, so you could take that to the bank.
And then Michael Blas says gun lock. Wow. So we get those gun locks. We got them from two locations in the VA.
Right.
The team out of Denver, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then
because they're pushing that.
Yes,
Yeah.
the team in Denver, and then Miss Wendy. Yeah. And I think we'll take a phone call.
All right.
All right.
Wait. Who's calling us?
I don't know.
Do we have somebody calling? Hello. Do we have somebody calling us here?
Yes, we do.
Oh, can you say your name?
To clarify, this is Bob Kelly.
Well, hello.
Is it?
I wanted to clarify the 988 calling because I've been very heavily involved in emergency calling with the U.S. standards and so it's been written in FCC for about the last 2 years. As of January this year, the major carriers are now doing geo-routing. And what geo-routing means is wherever you're at, you go to the local PSAP when you dial 988. Right. Initially, when 988 was set up, it was routed based upon the area code. So if you had an area code 671 and I'm in Texas, it would still come to the PSAP in Guam because it was based upon the area code of my phone number.
Got it.
The carriers in Guam, I believe, have actually converted to geo-routing, but I'm going to verify that this week, and I can even give you an update next week. But all you need to do is dial 988, and you will get to a suicide counselor. And right now, probably you'll get to the local one if it's geo-routed. And the other key thing is for our veterans is when they dial 988, they have the option that it says down says if you're a veteran to hit 1. If you hit 1, you'll be assigned into a counseling center that is staffed for veterans.
Awesome. Yes, and it doesn't mean that just because when we were talking at the symposium to the Guam Behavioral Health staff there, they did mention to us that there is there are some people that may be veterans, and they do have a crisis team up there, although they don't answer the phone all the time. The crisis team, that's not their job. They usually roll out to respond to locations is that team, but a lot of their people answering the phones in the 988 locally are trained and understand how to answer the phone.
They're trained counselors and social workers trained to deal with this, but they're trained to deal with the general public.
That's
where
correct.
Once you hit 1, you will be you may not be a local. Where 988, when you're dialing it local, should go to the local center. If you hit 1, you might find yourself in California or Texas or something, but you'll be dealing with somebody who's a specialist in dealing with veterans.
That's right.
That's the person's choice when they go on there. But I encourage people to use it. Now, one thing, SMSs, because you can also text 988, but wow. SMSs are not yet fully geo-located. So if you have a 61 telephone number and you text, you'll end up with a Guam one, whether you're here or somewhere else probably, because that's still going through the change. It takes a while to change the entire nationwide phone system to be able to handle this.
But I do believe we're in safe hands when we have Bob Kelly from Guam taking care of that.
Well, I'm only working in trying to participate. I participate several times a year in the meetings on how to route calls, both 911, 988, and other things. And that's kind of what I've done out in representing Guam for about the last 25, 30 years. So it's just been a progression, and it is working. You dial 911, you're going to go to the local PSAP. That's Public Safety Answering Point, the call center to take care of your emergencies. So we're doing pretty good here in Guam now.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And, Charlie, if you're listening, I know you were at the task force meeting, so you should feel safe that, Bob is taking care of us.
And Bob, could you just mention, why it's important for the veterans to file their claim? I know you just lost a good friend.
Same thing I give every year. Okay.
Well, and plus you just lost a good friend. And
yes, I did lose a good friend. I have a friend who was a Coast Guard who we gave our last respects to this weekend. And I had been telling him for 2 years to file. He served on a icebreaker. This icebreaker was extremely loud and noisy, especially when breaking ice, going through 3 and 4 foot Arctic ice, and the crunching on the hull every time it came down on the ice. He served on the deck where there was a foghorn nearby. He definitely had tinnitus and had some hearing loss, but he also had to do drills firing using AFF, which is a fire foam that the Navy and Coast Guard uses for fires, that has now been found under the PACT Act as dangerous. And he also had asbestos on his ship, and he only filed his intent less than a month before he passed away because he put it off for 2 years. And so we need to file our claims as soon as we can. I mean, you can file an intent to file before you do anything. And I filed them 4 times. Unfortunately, several of them didn't go very far because the processing wasn't done properly. But I will say once HMI got involved, it went through by helping me know how to file. They don't file for you, but they'll tell you how to file. And you follow the instructions and read up on it, and you can get your claim in, intent to file in 1 day, and then you've got a year to get it in. And that's what Dave never did. He got his intent in. I just mentioned his name. I didn't intend to. But then he didn't get his claim in. So he never collected a penny, and he passed away.
Yeah, and you know, for all that we need to do to get numbers up, right? You know, he could have been one of those numbers that would have helped us. But at any rate, these are also the reasons why we at HMI continue to tell our veterans to go get registered, file your claim, and, you know, file for your benefits, right? If all our veterans are recognized up there at the CBOC, the VA now has a really clear picture of what our veterans might be needing as far as our health care. So, you know,
the other thing I'll reach out on is this, and this is the people listening here are probably, because of their interest, identified. But we have probably several thousand people that are getting some sort of a benefit today. We probably only have about 1,000 or less that are members of national veterans organizations such as VFW, American Legion, Purple Heart, and so on. Yet, according to the Department of War, what used to be Department of Defense, we should have about 20,000 veterans when we count all the former reservists, guardsmen, active duty Air Force, Navy, Coast Guards, Marines, and so on. And the question is, where are all these other veterans, and how do we get them to be identified so they can get what they deserve, and also we can get our numbers up? And so the people listening to the show, I'm going to guess most of them might have already filed, but if you know anybody else, your family members, your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, parents, if they haven't filed, push them to get their names on the list, please.
Thank you, Bob.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for that information, Bob. And
sure.
we'll keep plugging along. So you have a good night and stay tuned.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Sorry. So before before he did that, I did want to bring up the also the Wounded Warrior Ride shirt. It's the 15th anniversary. I know you got one right last year, Jose. And so the new one, I think he's about to pull it up. If so, we're pushing it out. I should have pushed it out last week, but my fault. I forgot to include it as part of our show. But this is the Wounded Warrior Ride shirt. This is the design. If you're a business and you want to have, your logo on here, the contact number is on the
482.
It's on the flyer. Yeah, it's on the flyer. So you can call that number, and then if you want to order a shirt, you can contact me, 671-682-7631. The shirts are $30, and the deadline to order is October 25. And this shirt is really nice. The designer, I think Brian designed this, and so what it is that's Assen. If no one knows, that is the picture from Assen.
That is a cool design.
Yes, when Guam was liberated. So he found this photo, and then he had the person who helped him design it only color in the flag. So that's the front. And then on the back, if you want to have your business logo, or if you want to, have your name on there or create your own design and have it on there. If you're a Gold Star family member and you want to, remember your veteran. So it's $500 for logo placement, $300 for name placement. And the organization that's been doing this for 15 years, the money doesn't stay with them. The money goes to different organizations who are nonprofit veteran organizations that take part in this. And also they do they do a lot of things for children. And so this is a really good, the money is going to really great places. Last year, I think we sold over 150. So really good cause. So this is the Guam Wounded Warrior Ride from 2010-2025, 15th anniversary.
And you don't need to have a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be riding around in one to support or to wear the shirt. So your actual purchase is going to go directly to helping our veterans. So, yes, feel free to place your order and keep Miss Karina busy.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Veterans with Benefits on The Point 93.3. We'll be right back.
Every company needs money for investments to help grow or working capital to take on today's economy. That's why Bank Pacific's commercial loan officers stand ready to help you. We offer several programs tailored to assist companies to get to the next step, or perhaps for a startup, including working with SBA and GITA. Bank Pacific. And we want to be your partner. Equal opportunity lender. Credit conditions apply.
Need publicity for your big events? We've got a great feature on the Point's website to help you get your happening noticed for free. Just go to thepoint.gu and look for the community button. Click on submit your event and then fill in the blanks. You can even upload your flyer. Once we approve it, it'll show up on all Choice Broadcasting websites. Did I say it was free? From 5Ks to car washes, lunch plates, fundraisers, whatever. Let us help you get the word out. Free! Get started on thepoint.gu.
Fox Facts.
We drizzle it on pancakes, swirl it into our tea, even spread it on toast. But did you know that honey never spoils? Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old, and they're still perfectly edible. The secret lies in honey's natural properties, like its low moisture content and acidic pH, which prevents bacteria and microorganisms from growing. And it's been used for centuries, not just as a sweetener, but as a natural remedy for everything from sore throats to wounds. Honey is made by bees, which collect nectar from flowers and transform it into the delightful food that Walt Disney's Winnie the Pooh can't get enough of.
Everything is honey, everywhere I see.
So that jar of honey that's been sitting in your pantry for a few months or even a few years could basically last forever. Sweet, right? Matt Murphy, Fox News.
And we're back. I'll read some of the comments that we have. Daniel Saho, thank you for last Saturday and boot camp. You're welcome. Julie Perez, you guys and the rest of the HMI volunteers are a godsend. God bless you all for the fantastic support you provide to the veterans. Brendan Fausto says, amen, sis. Salute. And then Julie said, my husband and I have seen them in action at Chatting with the Coach and boot camps, and they are so full of enthusiasm. It's never a dull or boring time with them. No, and thank you so much, Miss Julie, for always feeding us, because we work all day, all night, and sometimes we don't eat or take a break, and you always give us a sweet treat, like, what are some of the things? Empanadas, banana bread, latizza, tanak, soup.
And we got to sneak it all past Doc.
Right.
And Doc says, hey, those are fatty foods. Then later on, he gets a couple of them.
What about when someone brings us pizza or donuts?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
He says, those are poison. And then he'll sneak a couple away.
And then my Ike Zaki. Hello, HMI.
What's up, Ike? Long
All
time.
right. Okay, let's get back to it. So we did want to push out REITs Across America. Sorry, I know I touched on it just a little bit. But REITs Across America, we have over 5, maybe 6,000 veterans resting there and their family members. And it's a national fundraising event, REITs Across America. I know Johnny Atulai always gets upset and says the government should pay for all of these REITs so they can be on every resting place. And I said, I know, but this is a national fundraiser, national organization fundraiser for on Guam. It's going to be December 13, 2025. You can scan the QR code. You can go online to National REITs Across America, search for Guam or search for HMI. We're one of the nonprofit organizations pushing for this fundraiser. And then $5 will go to our nonprofit organization.
And then maybe to Uncle Johnny's point, right? I mean, it's something that we can do. So how do we do it, right? I mean, how do we provide this to these families or to these service members that are there, right? And I think funding, right? How do we get a funding source? What can we do? What kind of money is out there that could do this for our veterans? Could we find a sponsor to do this, right? And maybe, right, these are just ideas that, if nobody else does it, we're going to end up doing it, right? So at the end of the day, right, for those of you that are in leadership positions, if you're not looking to, take advantage of doing this or having an opportunity to help, right, there's so many things out there we can do for our veterans, and yet there's a lot of people arguing about why they should or shouldn't do, why somebody shouldn't do something. This is a good one. Go out there and find a way to get wreaths for all those people, So if you have a hard time, you don't like what some people say, what they're doing out there, take it upon yourself, stand up, pull your pants up, and be a big boy or big girl, and get out there and do something that Uncle Johnny's asking. Get wreaths and put them down there. We have Matson, and we owe them a debt of gratitude for every year allowing those wreaths to come in. So we will probably want to fill those containers up because those containers cost money.
Yep.
And out of the kindness of their hearts, they're doing that for us. So let's get more wreaths on there.
So I also brought up another issue. We had the Guam Task Force meeting, and what we started doing this Guam Task Force meeting was tracking the bills that affect veterans in Congress. So some of the bills that we have are HR 740, Veterans Access Act. What is it? It improves access to VA community care, enforces wait time standards, and enhances scheduling systems. So when we watched his testimony, he said veterans don't need their hands held.
Oh, yes.
But we know how to schedule our own appointments, right? We don't need all the red tape, because then what does that do? That delays our care. And then what is the expected impact? It improves veteran access to timely community health care and reduces wait times. Then HR 2137, review every Veterans Claim Act. And this prevents denial of VA claims solely due to a veteran missing a medical exam. It allows alternate evidence. What is the impact? It ensures veterans are not unfairly denied benefits due to missed exams. And this is true for a lot of veterans, right? Because look at the most recent issue we had. The mail was late. And a lot of the veterans get informed of their CMP exams through snail mail, right? They still get the phone call sometimes. They might get the email, but most of the times it's a letter. And so because of the recent delay in mail, a lot of veterans are getting their mail 3 weeks, 4 weeks late. They miss their CMP exam. When you miss your exam, guess what? The VA denies the veteran claim because you never went to your exam, because at the exam, that's when your claim would have been adjudicated. So that's a really important one to follow. The other one is VSAFE, Veteran Scam and Fraud Evasion Act. This one establishes VA Scam and Fraud Officer to combat fraudulent activities targeting veterans. The impact it will have: strengthens fraud prevention and protects veterans from scams. So I witnessed one where a veteran was trying to request their record, but when they went to go look inside their file, it looks like they had already requested it twice. When they checked, someone was trying to gain access to their information. They were trying to send the request to 2 different addresses in the States. So I told her, what you need to do is call the 1-800 number and report it and tell them what's going on. So that's important. This next one, this will involve Guam. HR 3400 Travel Act. This is sponsored by Representative King Hines out of CNMI. This is Congressman King Hines. And this will deploy traveling VA physicians to U.S. territories to improve access to care to remote veterans. And what is the impact? It'll increase access to VA care in underserved U.S. territories. So right now, we know that our veterans are traveling to Saipan from Guam for their audiology appointment, because the specialist we have here only sees one veteran a month. So if a veteran needs audiology, they need hearing aids, they'll go to Saipan. If the hearing aids come in, they go back to Saipan for fitting. So, and plus they only have one in Saipan. I think they only have one doctor, right? Dr. Ada that helps veterans for their VA care. So, I mean, one versus how many we have here. And a lot of us veterans are saying, hey, my appointments at the CBOC are 1 year apart. What do you do with your medicine? When you need a refill, how do you get a refill? So that one's an important one to watch. Another one is HPSP Improvement Act, HR 3767. What is it? Health Professional Scholarship Program to ensure timely VA employment of awardees. The impact: it'll boost staffing of healthcare professionals in the VA system. Next one, Ernest Peltz Accrued Veterans Benefits Act. This ensures survivors receive the full month's VA pension even if the veteran passes mid-month. What is the impact? It protects survivors' financial stability after a veteran's death. So we've seen this a lot. So if the veteran passes away and the money gets deposited in the bank account, they swiftly take it back. So this one is a good one to watch as well. HR 3834, Protecting Veterans Claim Options Act, clarifies BVA jurisdiction and protects veterans from claim denials due to procedural technicalities. So BVA is Board of Veteran Appeals. What is the impact? It'll provide veterans more flexibility and fairness in appeals and claim decisions. The next one, HR 2605 SAVES Act. This expands grants to nonprofits to provide service dogs to eligible veterans with disabilities. And what's the impact? It'll support mental health and daily independence for disabled veterans. We'll get, what's his name? Ed Tovis to watch this one closely too. And then this one will also benefit Guam. Rural Veteran Improved Access Benefits Act. It aims to improve benefit access for rural veterans, and the impact it'll have could improve benefit delivery in rural areas. And then the Fraud Act requires VA to implement fraud detection in its claim systems using modern IT tools. Hospital Inventory Management System authorizes VA to implement a cloud-based inventory system to manage medical supply chains. And this next one, I'm not sure. I think the techies can tell me about this one. It's the VA Distributed Ledger Act. It's related to using blockchain, distributed ledger, for secure VA data management. I guess it's supposed to protect our information.
Well, blockchain is what allows for secure
data.
It uses a lot of energy, but so one of the things I'm a little bit more familiar with is what's known as it's a contract. It's a contract that you put into the blockchain, and the blockchain sends all this information, and it's very something doesn't happen unless you follow it, and it's a lot of energy to run the blockchain. That's where Bitcoin and all that stuff is on as well. So, all
right. And then Veterans Readiness and Employment Integrity Act. So this is VRNE. This improves oversight and integrity of the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program, which is a great program that we teach about at our Benefits Bootcamp. Homes for Heroes Act provides housing assistance to veterans under the Homes for Heroes initiative. impact, it could increase veteran access to housing, resources, and support. And then HR 3854, Modernizing All Veterans and Survivors Claims Act, streamlines and modernizes VA claims processing for veterans and survivors. It would improve speed and accuracy of claim decisions for veterans and survivors. So these are some of the things that we're talking about at the Guam task force that, we're a part of. And these are very important things to keep track of because this affects all veterans. Did you want to add anything?
Oh my God, I thought you'd never stop.
So these are important things for veterans.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are the things that our veterans want to hear.
Right.
They want to know about these things. And even if they don't want to hear it or don't want to know it, right, it's just being informed, even just on the periphery where they're just listening and say, hey, this is coming. And then when they got time, they'll go back in and look at it. And then if it piques their interest, then they'll jump in and really take a look at it. So we really need to be paying attention to getting this information to our veterans. And the idea is not that, oh, well, they're not going to check it or they don't want to know. Well, who cares? If you are the VA, push that information out. If you are the leaders of any types of organizations in the government that affect veterans, push the information out. The least they can do is have it there, and you never want to hear a veteran say, oh, you don't have this, right? But if you push it out and they don't go get it, guess what? You can shut them up and say, no, we pushed this out. It's on this website. We told you about it. You should know about it. If you need more, go here. But we don't have that, and that's part of the problem. These are the types of things we need to be doing. And over at our Veterans Task Force, this is what we have been doing. And by the way, if you are a veterans group, organization, or a veteran out there, family member, and you want to talk about issues and get it taken care of, all you got to do is come to the Veterans Task Force meetings, and we'll start pushing that out. No, you don't need to be a nonprofit. No, you don't need to be, my brother and my cousin are here, and this is what we do, and, I went down here. And no, you got issues you want to be taken care of? Come to the Guam Veterans Task Force, and let's discuss what it is we need to do. One of the biggest accomplishments we've had out of the Veterans Task Force is finally getting a number that all our veterans can actually look at and discuss. It may not be the best number, but it is a number that's backed by DHA. So the numbers, according to the Congressman's office, when they came to the symposium, is 20,000 plus veterans on this island. Now, I believe that number comes from Department of Defense and the Department of Veterans Affairs combined. Now, again, when you ask that question and when they're posting a different number from the CBOC, you really got to wonder, what is the number that the CBOC is using? It's far below the number that we have from DHA. So we really got to look at that.
All right. So some of the other things you talked about, or are we taking a break? Sorry. Yes, taking a break. Okay. You're listening to Veterans with Benefits. On The Point, you can call into 671-888-TALK. We'll be right back.
Hafa Guam. Landon Idlet here from the National Weather Service and with the Guam Power Authority. National Preparedness Month is here, and preparedness starts at home. Does your preparedness kit have water, food, flashlights, first aid, Spam, and some snacks for the kids? Great! Now lend a hand, check in with a neighbor, especially our Banamku, and make sure their kit is ready too. Preparedness is for the family, and it starts at home. NWS and GPA preparing Guam together. For more tips, visit ghs.guam.gov and follow GPA on Facebook and on Instagram.
Listen to The Point anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Find your favorite stations like The Point and discover more. Music stations, local and trusted news sources, sports talk and team coverage, plus today's biggest podcasts. Find it all on the Odyssey app. AUDACY.
All right, and we're back. There's another thing that we wanted to share tomorrow. The Micronesian Legal Services and Emergency Legal Responders are distributing free water and fire resistant folders for your documents. And so, you know, whenever we see veterans, we ask them, hey, where's this? Where's that? Oh, you know, it got destroyed in the typhoon. It was in storage and the water took it. So I think this was shared with us. So we're pushing it out. These are free water and fire resistant folders for your document. So tomorrow's the 16th, right? Tomorrow would be Tuesday, Dededo Mayor's office, 8 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Then tomorrow, Jigo Mayor's office, 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
So both tomorrow?
Tomorrow. So Dededo and Jigo only. Yeah. So as while supplies last, go get this because, I mean, I think every veteran should go and avail of this because, you know, your DD-214 is a very important document. We get so many requests every week. How do I get my DD-214? I lost it. How do I get it? It's faded. How do we get a new one? And then once you get it, protect it and then give a copy to your loved one.
Is this only for veterans?
No. This is for everyone.
Okay.
Everyone.
And Micronesian Legal Services are a group similar to Guam Legal Services, right? So these are the two areas that you can get some help from if you're a veteran, right? So they help veterans and they have services. So between the two of them, if you need some legal service, this is where you can go.
Right.
I'm sure they have some requirements like I think there's some thresholds for like income and, you know, they usually want to take care of those that really don't have any resources. But that doesn't mean that they won't help you. You should just go there and make a check. And most especially if you are not receiving the services that are mandated by law, federal or government, mostly local government, right? You want to take note of that, and these folks could champion getting them and compelling them to do their job. If they are not doing their job and they are a government entity and they're supposed to be doing their job, these are the folks that will take them to court and have the court let them do their job. Of course, there's other steps before that, right? You know, you just go there, send a nice letter, tell them, hey, you know, you didn't do this. Can you check on it? And I feel a lot of times these folks are doing this, but a lot of times they get caught up, but still that doesn't mean that they can't do their job. They do not send veterans away from the office that they work at if their job is to help veterans, okay? You have to sit there and talk to the veteran. You might not like veterans or what they say or do, but if your job is to care for them, you will sit there. You will talk to them, and you will treat them nicely, you know, and ask them what they need. All right.
All right. I did want to share. I mean, it wasn't pushed out where it was directly impacting veterans, but I think was it the Congressman's office that shared the new NDAA updates?
Yes, very good.
So I did want to talk about those, and it's not sorted in any way. Are you the one that sent it to me last? I'm trying to.
I believe it was me, and
I'm trying to.
I think Monty McDowell posted it on the chat.
He did. Okay.
And while you're looking for it, I'll talk a little bit about the task force and the numbers again. The numbers are huge and very important, and it was a task that was given to us by General Paulino. He said, "Hey, the thing you should be looking for is how to get our numbers." And you know, the good folks over at the Joint Task Force Micronesia. Really fine professionals over there. Whenever we talk to them, you know, we had just made an inquiry. Hey, is there a way we could figure out how to get these numbers? And you know, I think they went out and started asking, and they said, let us check our DoD counterparts, maybe, or you know, just make an inquiry. I guess the Congressman's office and their personnel as well went out looking for that number, and through DHA, which, you know, kind of falls in line with DOD or DOW, I'm sorry, you know, Charlie will get me on that one, DOW. Anyhow, so now we got those numbers, and you know, we accomplished a portion of what the general has asked us to do, so we need a new tasking, but we also need to continue to do it because the year of 2025 was proclaimed by the governor as the year of the veteran registry and count. So That being said, again, the task force and the veterans that are in there are doing these things to bring more light to the veterans and the issues so that we take care of our veterans, because these numbers are important. They're very important because this is what the VA decides on when they want to give us services. So that 6,000 number that the CBOC has been using pales in comparison to 20,000 plus. So Dr. McDermott, please take this number and let's use it to find out what other services we can be getting. And good job on all the stuff you're doing over there. Get us more doctors. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, so the title of his press release says over $3 billion secured for Guam. Congressman Moylan shares FY26 NDA update following House passage. So we got the most important, I think the most money is $1.06 billion in military construction, $1.17 billion for family housing, and then $105 million for 250 new housing units. So I think these ones are going to be on the base. But then we all read the article the other day that they're looking to build 1,000 some houses by 2028, 2030.
Yes,
that's huge. And then key amendments include the expansion of living quarters allowance. So what this is, and I remember a civilian when we went up to Camp Blas to visit asked, "Hey, is there any way, if you know the congressman, how do I get in touch with him?" Because as a federal civilian, we used to get housing. Because, the military get housing allowance, but they don't, because it really is expensive. So the civilian employees, they don't get much allowance as their military counterparts. So I guess this includes new local hires, and it authorizes retention bonuses, 50% of base pay for critical civilian roles.
Yeah, and that's huge to have the local hires, involved in that.
Because those are locals, yeah.
No, but many years ago, right? If you were a local hire, you don't get those benefits, right? It's only the stateside hires that, when they come here, they give them that increase. And sometimes it's interesting how they work. But yeah, if it's good for those that are coming in stateside, I think it should be good for those that are local as well. I mean, I don't see why it shouldn't apply. I mean, makes sense that they should give it to the locals, and maybe we'll get more people to come out and work there.
And then they also the NDAA directs a reassessment of per diem rates because Guam hasn't been visited in a while. And then another one is Department of Defense is also authorized to enter a joint energy project with the Guam Power Authority and increase the minor MILCON cap for Indo-PACOM from 30 million to 40 million. I think we did talk about that, right? Yeah, and the last time Mike Lemitiaco was here, right, we talked about, the Department of War, not Department of Defense. They were a part of bringing the Ukadu power plant out here. So, that speaks volumes to, them participating in helping the local government and the community, right, by putting some funding into the Ukadu power plant. And another one that a lot of people are asking about is the release of an unclassified summary of independent assessments of Guam's missile defense system and feasibility study on expanding ship repair capabilities, including dry dock mooring and support for local maritime firms. Good work, Congressman Moylan. So those are some of the things that, popped out that I wanted to talk about. And on there, is it the new housing that they're trying to... That was in the paper? You said you talked about that? Yes. Well, do we do power, water, housing, briefing, feasibility study? I think on the housing side of the house, I think some folks are talking about, the Facebook chats, talking about some of the locals not too happy about that. So I think, right, when we really look at it, for many of us that are veterans, right, when the issues come up about, hey, military this or military that, we're a little bit biased because we came from the military service, right? So I think we're more pro-military than we are not pro-military or anti-military, if you will. But there could be a need for housing development. So, maybe that could be jobs for our locals if that's something that they're doing. And then, a lot of times we look at our economy and how it's kind of down, and a lot of times money coming in through an increase in our population
especially for those that are, employed by the Department of Defense, will, go a long way in improving our economy and money coming into the island. So that's another way to look at it. I'm sure our locals want to talk about, respecting the culture, the people here, and trying not to turn the place into, just a concrete jungle, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We need to protect our resources as well.
Yes. So anyway, the show
I talked about a lot of the things that I
just real
wanted to
quick,
try.
I want to remind everyone who's listening on 93.3 FM, which is where we're broadcasting from.
Yeah.
We're also streaming here on Facebook.
Yes.
Under the point.gu. Pika's best. Don't forget to vote. And that's on Facebook. And there is also an HMI Guam YouTube channel.
Yes.
And there's a couple of people online right now who are watching. Guam Under the Sea, parentheses mostly, has been watching, as well as the Mr. Rock 69, which I'm sure that's his class year, has been watching also. There's been a couple of viewers there. So to remind everybody, if you want to watch a previous episode of Veterans with Benefits and you missed some of the information that was spoken about by Anthony or Corinna, you can go to HMI Guam on YouTube. And it'll also direct you to the website. I think the website probably needs some TLC, but the information is there.
And I have to read this comment on Facebook. Johnny at Two Lights Heights, great show. Keep up the distribution of benefits for the veterans.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Johnny. And like he always wants me to say, if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And good things are coming, everyone. So, keep doing the good things as well, and we'll see you next show.
Yes, we'll see you next week.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
Under Charlie Kirk continues. Fox's Alicia Acuna has the latest.
New details are emerging about Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson. He's being held at the Utah County Jail under special watch pending mental health evaluation. Investigators say they are running into some roadblocks as they search for a motive. Robinson is not cooperating, but his roommate and parents are. Investigators are also looking into reports of a note that may have been left behind.
At Sunday's memorial service at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., House Speaker Mike Johnson praises Kirk's mission to spread the message of American exceptionalism.
We're the most free, most successful, most powerful, most benevolent nation that has ever been on the earth. And Charlie understood why, and he wanted others to understand it as well. Because Charlie knew that if you don't understand the source of your freedom, it is easy for it to be taken away.
Robinson is set to make his first court appearance on